So for the Q&A, he has two posters that he can give away to the first two people who, ask the questions. So, is there any question? Yeah.
Can you talk about a soundtrack of the movie?
关于电影的音乐，其实我们因为以高中生为主要的主角，那就是希望试图让整个影片的氛围再年轻一点点，所以当初在做配乐的时候，就尽量朝所谓的电子跟后摇滚这样的一个方向去处理。
Because this movie is a movie talking about high school students and youth, so we wanted music that reflects a youthful atmosphere because the main characters are youth. So we tend to use more electronic and post-rock kind of music because we want to reflect the youthfulness of the main characters. So I will translate the question first. So I would imagine you would like to talk about this particular social issue, and I would like to know it's what type of opportunity that brings this particular social issue to your interest.
因为我的上一部片一样是青少年的题材，那它是相对就是非常的正面阳光。
My last film is also a film talking about youth, and it was more of a positive angle, and it's more sunny.
那因为就是一直持续在关注青少年的议题，那这次看到这个剧本的时候就非常的吸引我，因为它其实用了另外一个方式再来讨论青少年的问题，这样。
And so I always had an interest in the life of youth. So once I saw this script, I realized that it's also talking about youth, but from a different angle.
就是它，我觉得同样的，其实跟上一部片一样，都是所谓寂寞的心灵，他们渴求一点点温暖的这样的一个感觉。
So it is similar to my last film. It's still talking about lonely hearts looking for something in common, reaching out for warmth.
只是共犯这部片子用了更多带点悬疑、带点小小推理的这样一个情节，去做一些形式上的表现。
Except in this film, in Partners in Crime, there's a little bit more suspense, use a little bit more of these type of ways of portraying their emotions.
因为对我来说，就是很多问题的产生，可能都是因为我们旁人的漠视、不关心。
Because I feel a lot of issues rise because of people around not paying attention, not actually care.
所以共犯这两个字，也许表面上像是这三个男生，高中男生集体做坏事，那可是也许从另外一个层面来看，这个问题的产生，可能是譬如说这个女学生的死，可能就是因为旁人的漠视不关心。那也许周边的这一群才是最大的共犯。
So the title of the movie, Partners in Crime, from the outset can be seen as these three boys acting together to do something bad, but really it could be interpreted as the death of this young female student, and her death is created by the people around her not paying attention and their carelessness. And in general, it's really the people around that could be interpreted as the partners in crime.
Yes, I just like to ask the director if he's a fan of Capture Mirai and whether that book influenced his work.
因为电影里头最重要的一本书是《异乡人》，我想同样都是文学的经典，所以就摆了一些文学的经典著作在旁边，所以其实真的也没有什么特别的用意。
The book that they were switching with the library book, 异乡人, foreigners, and that book is a very classic book, so it's just being put together with other classic books. That book so the book that was switching from the library is called Stranger.
I wonder what the reaction was to this movie in Taiwan, given that the issue of youth alienation and the youth, there's expectations of youth to behave in a certain way, and this film contradicts that expectation. So I was wondering what the reaction in Taiwan was to this.
因为台湾其实还没有正式上映，它其实会到9月26才会上映这样，所以其实它还没有真正的跟观众见面。
It's not actually going into public viewings yet in Taiwan. It starts at September the 26th, so we haven't really got the reaction of the broader audience yet in Taiwan yet.
那我当然也期待观众的一些反应。那我们之前在就是台北电影节作为开幕片，所以有过2次放映。对，那这样的一个类型在台湾其实是比较少见的，尤其是主角是 focus 在高中的学生。
So of course, I'm looking forward to see the reactions of the audience in Taiwan. And we did open as the opening film in Taipei Film Festival, so there were 2 screenings there. And so it is, generally speaking, a film that is not often seen as because the main characters are at this particular age group, so there's not a lot of film in Taiwan that has this particular story.
对，所以我也期待接下来他们可以给我什么样的反应这样子。
So I'm looking forward to see what the audience reaction might be.
How long did the production take from just production and post-production?
这部电影的前置作业大概也是将近快1年的时间，那我们花了半年的时间在选角，因为这3男3女就是特别不好找。
So the production took about a year, and half a year out of that year was casting, because it was very, very difficult to find these 3 young boys and 3 young girls to cast them.
那整个拍摄就非常的有效率，我们就是2个月以内完成。
And the actual filming was very efficient. We did about 2 months of it.
我想问就是您现在反映的这个电影的这个状况是台湾现在 题的话，那可能对于加拿大观众来说会觉得有一点shock。但如果不是普遍问题的话，如果您这样反应，这样子的情况会不会引起别人对台湾现在这个状况的误解？
So the question is, what you're portraying, this particular story is portraying, would it be something that's a common occurrence in the youth in Taiwan? And if it is a common occurrence, that seems to be quite shocking. And if it's not a common occurrence, then would you be concerned about portraying this, and it could be some misinterpretation from the audience of what the youth in Taiwan is like?
这当然不是台湾学生的普遍状态。对，那因为作为一个电影，它并不是纪录片，所以它也不会是一种真实的状态。
Of course, this is not a common occurrence in high schools in Taiwan. And this is a film, it's not a documentary, so it's not accurate in terms of portraying exactly what's happening.
可是共犯，刚提到的共犯的这个概念，它其实不止在学校里头，它也许你放诸到社会各个层面，它同样都会存在一样的问题。
And I was talking about the term partners in crime and the interpretation of that. So I think if we take that and put it into the broader context of outside of school, it could also be useful in terms of portraying society in general.
所以我想应该不会误会台湾的学生就是这样，就像是那个有外星人的电影，你也不会想说这是真的。
So I hope there's not going to be a misunderstanding that the high schools in Taiwan all look like this, and it's the same as if there's a movie about aliens, we don't think they are actually happening.
Students in the movie, they're real high school students, or just kind of actor? Good.
这3个男生3个女生，大部分都还是在高中生的年龄层这样。那当然有几位年纪比较大，大概是大学初期左右的年纪。
The 3 main male characters and the 3 main female characters, their age is still high school age, and there are some of them that are already in university, but at the lower grades of university.
因为当初看到剧本，确实要找到这个年龄层的演员没有这么容易，然后我又希望这个角色上的演出可以多一点点青涩的感觉。所以当初才会选择找新人来演出电影里头的角色。
So when I saw the script, I do feel it is important to have actors close to that age group to have that usefulness in their character, and so I thought it was important to find new actors to actually be cast into these roles.
其实就我的设定而言，我是把它设定成意外死亡。对，那可是坦白说，最终你们看到认为他是死亡，是自杀或者是意外，其实我觉得那个就是很开放，你们可以任何的思考。可是常常我们看到有人跳楼自杀， 然后高中女生就会用我们一种比较刻板的印象去说，也许是感情问题，也许是什么问题，然后就会用我们的刻板印象去认定他是自杀这样。
I actually wanted to say that it was an accident, but whether the audience after seeing the movie would interpret as it was an accident or whether it was suicide is actually quite open. It's open to the audience interpretation. And I wanted to bring up that because I think when people see something, when they see a high school age girl die from falling off the 5th floor, quite often people project. They project it as she must be committing suicide, and she must be committing suicide because she had a emotional trauma, so a love issue. So that's what I was trying to bring up, which is people's projection.
就是我想在每个地方做电影的环境不一样，不过唯一不变的都是需要一些坚持的态度。
I think to make movies is quite different. Where you want to make them, the atmosphere and the environment can be quite different. So, but I think one thing might be in common, which is you really need some determination.
Over here.
Very back.
What was your intention with the ending
那样的结尾其实就是想要回到事件的最初、最开始，女学生的死亡，就好像电影的开始也是从女学生的死亡作为开场。
Is to bring back to the beginning of the film that it started from there. It started from the death of this female student.
shoot?
其实大部分的场景都是在台北拍摄的。
Most of the scenes are filmed in Taipei.
然后特别是那个湖呢，因为我希望找到比较原生态的感觉，所以我们找了自己的一个麻烦，就是当我们要拍摄那个湖的时候，必须要爬将近半小时的陡坡才可以到那边，快一点的话是半小时。
So, except that lake, when we chose that lake, we wanted a more natural setting. So we made it really difficult for ourselves. And because that lake, it's about half an hour pretty steep climbing to get to that lake. And also half an hour, that's when you're walking really fast.
One last question.
It's like typically on like movies and producers, and this is like a challenge in working with them. And also like the next bit is going to be another story of teenagers.
嗯，确实，就是年轻的新演员，挑选没有那么容易，所以我们才花了这么多的时间。那其实我都希望透过这些不一样的新人，从他们身上可以看到，具备角色的一些特质。
Yes, it is difficult to find new young actors. So that's why we took so long to cast these actors. And we were hoping that we can find actors that bring in the similar characteristics that we want the roles to have.
所以常常在那个指导的时候，指导他们的时候，就是心情都会跟着角色起伏，因为我觉得唯有自己在进入角色状态一点点，才能够理解，然后让他们可以跟他们表达清楚，然后让他们也能够诠释出来。
So when I was directing them, I feel I have to get into the roles a little bit myself, to go through the emotions of the roles myself in order to experience what the roles are like, and then be able to express to the actors how it would feel to be portraying these roles.
那我的下一部片，因为坦白说前2部都是以学生为题，那下一部片目前正在筹备的。 它是一个属于成人世界的推理故事。
So actually, my next project, my next film, which is still in the planning stage, will be about adults. Since I've already had 2 films about portraying youth.
Thank you so much for staying for the Q&A. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Thank you.